California Attorney General Rob Bonta.
General Bonta, welcome. Sir, I'm not going to entertain stupid this late on a Friday night. I'm just not. I'm just not even going to pretend, because I hope America is smarter than anything we heard in the clip coming in. But I do want to focus on how you and your fellow attorneys general, especially those with an R behind their name, are looking at the upcoming midterms, given all of the red flags, the warning lights. I mean, these are sirens now going off as we begin this election process next week. That tells us this man intends to steal this election any way he possibly can. He has boots on the ground in position to begin to do that in a number of states, working at the county and local levels. So what are the efforts beginning to look like, and what are the wargaming exercises telling you, and what do you anticipate? Not to give away any secrets, because, you know, the plan will be the plan to deal with it. But there is a higher level of engagement now than there probably was a year ago on this matter, I'm sure.
Absolutely. The red flags are up, the alarms are blaring, and we are concerned. And we owe it to our constituents to be ready, to be prepared, to have a plan of action in response. So we are tabletopping and gaming out all the possibilities that could come, and preparing a response. When I say we, just to be clear, that's 24 Democratic attorneys general. I'm not aware of one Republican attorney general that's lifted a finger to address the integrity of our elections and protect our democracy from the threat of Trump's interference. If Trump wants to have free, fair elections that are safe and secure, the thing that he should do is nothing. He's the threat. He's the risk. What he is doing when he advances conspiracy theories, when he says he's won the 2020 election, when he leads a search of the Fulton County elections office and seizes materials, when he talks about Italian military satellites getting involved with our elections, when he advances these crazy conspiracy theories and talks about ending vote by mail. In his State of the Union, talks about crooked vote by mail and the rampant cheating by the Democrats. He says we've done it. The Democrats, they've done it. They're doing it. They'll do it again. It is very dangerous. It's very reckless, and it's just not true. He's lying to the American people. So what do we think he might do? We're looking at all the things, as we should, as we need to. The possibility of military at or near polling stations, the possibility of the United States Postal Service, a entity of the federal government, interfering with vote by mail. We're looking at his executive order that we've stopped in court that prevent the counting of vote by mail ballots that were cast timely but arrived shortly after Election Day. They have the Save America Act that they're trying to move now. The Republicans are that requires documentary proof of citizenship that can disenfranchise and suppress the vote of millions of Americans. So we have plans for all of these scenarios, and we're continuing to identify other potential attacks and assaults on our free and fair and reliable elections, and we will be ready.
A.G. Bonta, it's Simone. One of the things you just said is that you are not aware of any Republican attorney general that has done anything to join you all in the Democratic attorney general's fight to protect our democracy across this country. That struck me because today the Justice Department sued 5 more states over their voter registration lists, and those states were Utah, Oklahoma, Kentucky, West Virginia, and New Jersey. That brings the total number of states the department has sued to 29. The president won Utah, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and West Virginia in 2020 and 2024. But that did not stop the Justice Department from looking for their information. There are statements now today from the governor of Utah and the Secretary of State of West Virginia, essentially both saying, we will not give the government this data, and we're going to protect this information. Do you think in the coming days or even weeks that you will start to hear from your Republican counterparts, or maybe even the governors or secretaries of states of some of those states who are in the crosshairs of the federal government on this issue, because they do share some of your concerns?
I hope so. And this is something that all Americans should be able to agree on. Our elections should be safe, secure, accurate, reliable, free of interference and intimidation from a conspiracy theorist in the White House that only cares about the outcome. And he sees what the outcome will be. All the polls tell him it's not a secret. He's going to lose. He's going to lose big. it'll be a blue wave in the midterms for the Democrats. He sees it coming, and so he's getting increasingly more desperate. His actions are unlawful. I would love to see a bipartisan approach and a multi-state approach across party lines to stand up for our free, fair, accurate elections that are not interfered with, where there's no intimidation, where there's no military, where there's no seizing of equipment or ballots, and where the people can vote. That's what we should all agree on as Americans, where the people have the final say. They go to the polls, they go freely. Their choice is recorded and tallied, and those choices become the people that represent us in government. That's how it should be.
One of the other big stories today, the Warner Brothers Discovery merger agreement signed with Paramount Skydance. You, though, have said that this is not a done deal, that the California Department of Justice has an open investigation. Can you give us a sense of what that investigation looks like and the timeline on this investigation, given just how quickly this seems to be moving?
Yes, the deal is not done. There are regulatory hurdles that need to be crossed still. They have not been crossed. One of them is our investigation. We're looking at antitrust laws and the potential violation of those laws, anti-competitive conduct that raises prices and lowers wages and reduces quality and competition and choice. And so we are looking at that, as is our duty, as is our obligation. We have, as a state, and there are other states that are interested in this as well, that have the authority to conduct these investigations and take action based on the facts and the outcome of our investigation. We have independent authority to intervene if we see fit, regardless of what the federal government does. So even if the federal government, the United States Department of Justice, approves this merger, California and other like-minded states still have an opportunity to conduct our own investigation and take action as appropriate. This needs to happen quickly. So to your question about timeline, it's moving quickly, so we need to act quickly. And we will, and we're ready, and you'll see more from us in the coming days.